Hello everyone and welcome to the Minimalist Campers. So Danielle and I are in Gaspésie, Quebec, and we discovered that there is St. John's wort growing everywhere. And I wanted to share with you what the use is and how to prepare it so that you can also, if you find St. John's wort, you'll know what to do with it. So this is the plant here. I want to show you how to recognize it in nature. So it's a yellow flower with 5 petals, and in the center you can see that there's about 75 to 100 little antennas coming out of the center of the flower. The leaves grow in directions, so you have like north and south, and then you have the next layer that grows right to left. So it actually forms, when you look at it this way, it'll form a cross with the leaves. Now, another way to recognize it is that these leaves, the ones that are smaller, if you take the leaf, you find little perforations or little holes inside the leaf when you look at it through the sun. You'll see the veins and you'll see the little holes in the leaf. Also, St. John's wort has a really cool particular characteristic is if you take a bud of the flower and squish it between your fingers so that you expel the juices, you will have a very red liquid come out of the flower. And this is particular to St. John's wort. So it's called St. John's blood. You can see that this can be used as dye and was used as dye. St. John's wort is a very medicinal plant, and it was brought to Canada from Europe, and now you can find it all over Canada, mostly in eastern Canada and western Canada. And apparently they have different varieties of the plant, so the plant probably changed on its way to western Canada. This plant has many different medicinal properties. If it's used in water, it can be used as a tea. It will be good for bladder infections. It will be good for stomach ulcers, depression. But if you're using it for depression or anxiety or nerve, just to relax the nerves, you might want to use it in alcohol, which I'll talk about in a second. The flowers can be put in oil to extract the medicines in the oil, and the flowers, the leaves and the seeds can be put in alcohol to extract the medicine in different ways. Now let's talk about that a little bit. So we've been picking St. John's wort quite a bit. So this is what we picked yesterday. So you want to let the flowers dry out for about 24 hours so that when you're putting it in your oil and in your alcohol, you have a little bit less humidity, so it has less chance of creating a mold inside of the oil. So this has been drying for about 24 hours. Now the next step, in order to preserve the St. John's wort, because it is so medicinal and I'm so happy to be able to take it home, would be to infuse it in oil or infuse it in alcohol. Now, infusing it in oil, this one I will be using externally. And it can be used for sciatic pain because it relaxes the nerves. It can be used on scars, bruises, burns, anything to heal the skin and soothe the skin. We just bought a nice facial cream, and I saw that one of the ingredients was St. John oil in the face cream. So this one I'll be using even for massage. This one here is different. This is to be taken internally, and it has alcohol, so it creates a nice tincture. And as you can see, just like the flower, there's all of the beautiful red dye or red liquid that's inside of the flower very, very quickly turns the alcohol red. It's pretty beautiful. So St. John's blood. So this one can be taken in drops. It's antiviral, anti-inflammatory, but St. John's wort has its reputation as being one of the best antidepressants out there. So you would take like a little dropper full, put it in water, and then drink that every day. Even antiviral, it's been taken as a remedy for people that have AIDS. The tincture can be used to not only depression, but for anxiety and trauma and nerve problems. That's why it's so good for sciatica, because sciatica is a nerve being pinched. It's known to just relax the body. So it can be taken in moments of trauma, so post-traumatic stress syndrome, or if you're feeling down or blue, this is something that you might want to try out. So here's how you make it. So you take your flowers that have been drying for about 24 hours. So simple. Stick them in a mason jar. So we have one here. I'm going to be making 2. Another good thing about letting it dry for 24 hours is that it gets those tiny bugs out. It allows them, and that's why I put them in this mesh, so that little black bugs or spiders can come out of the plant, so you're not putting them in your mixture. I've had a lot of flowers in there, and you can see smushing it down, the more flowers, the more potent your oil and tincture will be. There we go. So here I have a 94% alcohol. The stronger the alcohol, the better. It just pulls out a lot of the medicine. You want to top it off to cover all of the flowers. And you'll notice that within a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes, the flowers will start turning red. And within a couple of hours, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to turn a really nice red. Now you're going to leave this mixture in for about a month before straining it out and using it as a tincture. And here I have an organic Maison d'Orphée. It's an olive oil. It's an extra virgin. You know, you want something that doesn't taste too strong. I like it when it's delicate. A really good quality olive oil just works. There's a lot of carrier oils. You can have sunflower oil or... So again, you want to cover the flowers with the oil. If you want to keep this a little bit longer, you can add vitamin E oil to help preserve it. After about 4 weeks, you would strain it to remove the flowers and keep the oil. Now the oil, I'll probably be mixing with beeswax to make it a little bit thicker into an ointment so that I can apply it on the skin, scars, burns, wounds of any kind, to use it for its medicine, for its healing skin medicine, external use and internal use. Quite simple. All you need is to find a really nice patch of St. John's wort. You'll find that when it grows in nice huge patches, and it will grow for long periods of time. We're about middle of July. The new flowers will keep showing up every day, so you can keep picking every day if your patch is small. You want to collect the leaves, the flower, and the seeds in your mason jars. So good luck finding your St. John's wort, and thank you for watching. Bye.